and welcome. We want to thank everyone for joining us today for the Albuquerque International Sunport's presentation of the Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Certification Program. We hope that this presentation provides you an overview of the ACDBE program and how you may apply for this program. A few quick housekeeping items before we get started. We kindly request that all participants remain on mute with their cameras turned off during this presentation. This session will be recorded and available for replay on the Sunport's Doing Business website after today's session. If you have a question, please put your question in the chat to our co-host, Tyler Jessel, and we will try to address it at the end of today's session. So let's go ahead and get started. If you are joining us today, you are probably interested in finding more information out about the Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Business Enterprise ACDBE Certification Program. And right now, you're at the right place. In this presentation, we will review what is an Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, or ACDBE, what are the requirements to be an ACDBE, how to apply for ACDBE certification, and long-range planning. So let's begin. Let's first start with the Sunport. The Albuquerque International Sunport is owned and operated by the city of Albuquerque. And prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Sunport welcomed 5.4 million passengers in 2019. The Sunport is the only airport in New Mexico that provides scheduled major national airline service. And as such, major airlines such as Alaska, American, Delta, JetBlue, Southwest, Spirit, and United provide nonstop service to 20 destinations. Now that you have an overview of the airport, we can explain what the ACDBE program is. ACDBE is an acronym for Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. The ACDBE program is similar to the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program, or DBE program, in that it is a federal program designed to level the playing field for small businesses who wish to participate in contracting opportunities at airports. The regulations that govern this program are found in 49 CFR Part 23, and airports are required to make good faith efforts to meet these DBE goals. So what is an ACDBE? An ACDBE is a for-profit disadvantaged business enterprise that is at least 51% owned by one or more individuals who are both socially and economically disadvantaged and whose management and daily business operations are controlled by one or more of the socially and economically disadvantaged individuals who own it. Their gross revenues is less than $56.42 million annually, and their airport concessions over the last 3 years and must be a small business as defined by the U.S. Small Business Administration. To become an ACDBE in the state of New Mexico, a business must undergo the certification process through the New Mexico Department of Transportation. We will review how your business can do this later in the presentation. To certify as an ACDBE, firms must be at a social or economic disadvantage. Social disadvantage is defined as women and members of groups designated by Congress as disadvantaged and others who can demonstrate disadvantage on a case-by-case basis. Economic disadvantage is defined as individuals with a personal net worth of less than $1.32 million, excluding equity and primary residence and applicant business. So now let's define what a concession is. An airport concession is a business engaged in the sale of goods and or services to the public or a business that can that provides goods and services to those businesses. Concessions located on airports, which you may be familiar, include food and beverage, specialty retail, travel essentials, services, and amenities. Listed on your screen here are examples of concession commercial structures that ACDBEs may participate in. You have owners and operators, in which the concessionaire leases directly from the Sunport and operates the business. There is a joint venture partnership, where the concessionaire is owned by a partnership and is operated by the partnership. And then there is a subtenant, where the concessionaire subleases space from another tenant of the Sunport. Now that we've had an opportunity to define some of the definitions regarding the ACDBE program, let's review the requirements of ACDBE certification. ACDBE, again, are concessions that are for-profit small businesses that are at least 51% owned by one or more individuals who are both socially and economically disadvantaged, or in the case of a corporation, in which 51% of the stock is owned by one or more such individuals, and whose management and daily business operations are controlled by one or more of the socially and economically disadvantaged individuals who own it. They are owned by U.S. citizen or lawfully admitted permanent residents. The owner's personal net worth cannot exceed $1.32 million. They can be located anywhere in the U.S., but must complete the ACDBE certification process in New Mexico. Small Business Administration Guidelines requirement: business gross receipts cannot exceed $56.4 million per year for airport concessions, and owners must have the experience, expertise, and control of the day-to-day operations of the firm. Now that we have reviewed the benefits and the types of ACDBE firms, you are probably asking, how do I apply? Well, the good news is that the New Mexico Department of Transportation ACDBE certification is done entirely online. They have found that the online certification application reduces paper, increases security as there are no paper documents being exchanged, and applicants can work application in increments and save their progress, as all of this creates convenience, which is something we can all value. The application itself includes that basic application, the affidavit of certification, supporting document checklist, and personal net worth form. The website to apply is at the link above. Both firms located in New Mexico and all out-of-state ACDBEs must submit their application to the New Mexico DOT using this site. Once you are at the website, you will be asked to create a login and password, which you will use every time you use the website. You will be guided step by step in how to fill out your application and attach any required documents. Please know that the New Mexico Department of Transportation is available to you every step of the way, and are always eager to answer any questions you may have. There is system training available on the site, which you can register for once you have created your account. Regarding next steps and going forward, we encourage you to complete the ACDBE application as soon as possible. Please continue to monitor the Sunport Doing Business website for future information sessions, along with registering for open public opportunities at the Sunport at cabq.bonfirehub.com. Thank you all for joining us today. This concludes our ACDBE overview presentation. We will now address any questions that were entered in the chat as time permits. For the questions we are not able to answer today, please know that there are resources and additional contacts available to you at the link above. Thank you. So Tyler, did we receive any questions in the chat?
Yeah, thanks, Angeline. So no, we didn't receive any questions in the chat, so I think we can conclude this presentation.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. This recording will be posted to the Sunport website and along with the links to register for being an ACDBE. Thank you.